A board of countryside older generation in southern India has prohibited female of tiring nighties for the date. As the behalf suggests, nighties, occasionally as well named maxis there, are friable, formless garments that were initially intended to be sleeping carry. But above the year, they include be a favorite day gown for millions of female, particularly housewives, through Hindu cities, towns and though villages. 4 persons months back, a 9-member justice in the countryside of Tokalapalli in Andhra Pradesh country, amazingly led by a female, orderly how girls and female must not carry nighties of 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and such who did would include to pay a penalty of 2,000 rupees, $28, 22 pounds. Such who snitched on nobody violating the ban were pledged a cash money award of 1,000 rupees. The procedure is creature rigorously accompanied by the villagers or, so distant, down there include been no accountable of nobody creature penalized. Several residents, both of female and men, told they opposed the procedure but had fall in link since differently they would include to coughing up the penalty, that is a considerable sum of cash in the countryside of fisherfolk. The is not the at first period the lowly nightgown has guessed the anger of the ethical police force. In 2014, a females team in a countryside close Mumbai named Day Nightgown tiring an obscene experience and endangered to levy a penalty of 500 rupees on violators. How been fizzled out since the female rejected to dwell by it. But why are down there such a powerful ego on which is substantially fair a chunk of clothes? And a chunk of clothes how is usually looked at in lot contempt by nobody who appreciates Vogue? Written in the Peppermint paper in 2014, Shefali Vasudev, text editor of the newly launched digital Vogue gateway The Vote of Vogue, told the nightgown was as slender as a fry bag and as tasteless as a musty zephyr and requested it to be duplicated as India's top fuddy-duddy clothes. Nighties are a much million-buck industry and markets through the nation are complete of prepared-to-wear designs. The largest famous ones are done of flower published clap and can be purchased for as slight as 100 rupees, though the price band can price a few thousands. Planner Rimzim Dadu says nighties are so famous in housewives since conventional dress love the sari is not the top or largest convenient clothes for making domestic care in. The nightgown, she says, has set them complimentary. Planner David Abraham adds, it's not the largest stylish clothes but it has be a form of kinds for female since it's easy and pragmatic. It meets all their requirements, it's a solitary chunk of clothes so you fair drag it on, it's ankle bone long and relating the whole flesh so it's humble too much. Both of Ms. Dadu and Mr. Abraham are shocked by the ban. Ms. Dadu telephone call at shocking time. Mr. Abraham describes it as absurd. Nighties are believed to include at first arriving in India for UK colonialist guideline as overnight gowns worn out by British female. In period, they were adoptee as overnight carry by elitists Hindu female. It's not precise while the nightgown excited of the dormitory to the gateway, but Shefali Vasudev says time increasing up in the 1970s in little town Gujarat, she saw mummies and aunties tiring them via the day and occasionally though departure outdressed in them to the regional marketplace to store. In the 90s, while she excited to Delhi, she says she was surprised to see youthful mothers tiring it time making the high school bus run in their family or trade in curb plant vendors. It's a actual thorn, she says, while female carry it in mismatched petticoats if the clothes is slim and cast a clap dupatta shawl above it to seem humble. Ms. Vasudev says she understands the nightgown's circulation in the medium-class mistress's lifetime, as this clothes of release that frees them of the confining sari. But which she can't know is the patriarchy ethical police force description the nightgown as indecent and hard to ban it. It can't be named sexual or indecent, she insists. In reality, it's one of the largest desexualist trimming of buckwheat how a female can carry. She says the cause why several wish to expel the nightgown is since they trust it's more than West, more than contemporary, and therefore, it's indecent. David Abraham agrees. Indecency put in the eye of the spectator, he says, description the ban as completely inconsistent. The countryside justice procedure, he says, is sort managed and all on patriarchal and force. Include you always heard on a countryside justice meet to solve which men carry? It's ever on females' clothes. The faith the ethical police force include is present it's a nightgown, next day, who knows?